Hey everybody, welcome back to another video with saklesmiles. In today's video, I'm going to show you my budgeting method that I used that enabled me to save money, build my credit score, and put a down payment on my first home. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned. A budget helps create financial stability by tracking expenses and following a plan. A budget makes it easier to pay bills on time. You build an emergency fund and save for major expenses such as a car or a home. The goal is to set yourself up to live the life that you want to live. Keep in mind that the more you work, the faster you save. The less social time that you have, the less time you have going out and spending money. Therefore, in return, more you work, the less social time that you have, and the more you save. I'm going to show you the budgeting style that I use in order to live the life that I want. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so the bi-weekly budgeting plan that I like to follow is here. So I just titled it bi-weekly budgeting plan because every 2 weeks I go into it. I know what bills I have to pay, I know when they're due, and I know how much. And I know how much money I have between the 2 weeks before I get paid again. So this is to say, like, say you get paid $1,500 every 2 weeks, which is around between $50,000 and $55,000 a year. So I would write bills to pay on Friday, January 11th. It's Friday, January 11th right now, and I just got paid. So these are the bills I have to pay until my next payday. Car insurance due on the 17th. Cable, Netflix, or Hulu, or whatever, I just rounded it up to $100, due on the 18th. And then the phone bill, I'd say around $70, but all depends if you have a payment plan for your phone, if you have an updated phone or whatever. So $70 due on the 22nd. Okay, so between the 11th and my next payday, which is the 25th, these bills are due. So the total bills equal out to $250. My total income, I got paid, I have $1,500 in my checking account. Now, $1,500 minus $250, my total leftover is $1,250. So before I spend this free money and think that it's not going anywhere, I just want to make sure that I'm good for I give myself the next 2 paydays. So, bills to pay on Friday, January 25th. I'm estimating this out on January 11th before this day even comes because I want to make sure that I have extra money and it's not going to go toward bills. So sometimes how bills work throughout the month is that you'll have a whole bunch of bills between these 2 weeks, and the next 2 weeks you only have 2 or 3 bills due. So I make sure that when it becomes the 2 weeks where my big bills are due, like rent, mortgage, things like that, I make sure that I have enough money to cover it just in case if all those bills equal out to more than my income. So bills to pay on January 25th, I have mortgage rent, I'd say $1,700, due on the 26th, credit card, school loans due on the 27th and 28th, utility bills $200 due on the 28th. So my total bills is $2,200. So see, this is what I mean when I say that I don't want to spend my leftover money yet, because my total bills is $200, but on payday I only get paid $1,500. So I want to make sure that I have enough extra money to put into this before spending it. So that's why I'm not touching my $1,250 yet, because I want to make sure for the next 2 paydays I can pay all my bills, because this is the big portion of bills that need to get paid during this payday. So this equals out to $2,200, and I'm only getting paid for my job $1,500. So this is where this leftover money comes in. So $1,500 plus $1,250 equals $2,750. Okay, $2,750 minus $2,200. Now I have enough money to pay these bills. $2,750 minus $2,200, my leftover is $1,450. So doing this method, you'll find it easier to keep up with paying your bills when they're due and how much they are due. So now after paying these big portion of bills, I have $1,450 left over. I could spend it because I know that my next set of bills are smaller, but I'm not going to just yet. I'm going to make one more budgeting plan for another payday just in case. So bills to pay on February 8th, car insurance $80 due on the 17th. I want to make sure there's no bills between the 8th and the 22nd that I'm not missing out on. So car insurance I got is due on the 17th, cable, Netflix, Hulu due on the 18th, phone bill on the 20th. Okay, so I'm still good. So because my total bills are still good, $250, this leftover money right here, I don't need to add over here. So you see how I did not add it. Now, this leftover money, this is when I add in my section savings. Let me just make sure it's all capitalized. So now I know how much money I can put in my savings account when this day comes. I could take this whole $1,450, but you know what? I'm going to leave, let's say $200 for myself, just in case. You know, gas, groceries, everyday expenses. So I'm going to put $1,250 in my savings account. Let me just make this green, because that just shows green is money in bold. $1,250 is now in my savings account. Perfect. Don't have to touch it. Pretend it's not there. So my savings account is $1,250. So I do not need to touch this money. I can pretend it's not there. So what I like to use is a passbook savings account. The passbook, you have to go into the bank to withdraw this money from your savings account. I don't like using the savings account that's attached to my checking account and I can easily access it on my phone, because that it makes me spend more money. So it'll make me go, say if I'm in the store and I can't afford something, and I'm like, you know what, I can just transfer it from my savings account. It's just way too convenient. And the whole point of saving is not to be convenient. You're supposed to save and pretend the money's not there. That's when the money adds up. So that's why I like the passbook savings account, because I have to go during bank hours. Can't go on the weekend. Banks are closed on the weekend. I have to go during bank hours. I have to go in. I have to show my ID. I have to fill out a little withdrawal request form and all that. So it's a process. So it's easier for me to save that way, because it's such a hassle to get money out. It's too convenient to do it in the app. Okay, so savings account $1,250. So I'm gonna pretend that money's not there. So new leftover, $200. $200 is my new leftover that I could spend on groceries or gas or whatever. So now when payday comes around on Friday, February 8th, the same short bills, car insurance, cable, Netflix, phone bill, total bill is $250. I know I get paid $1,500 every 2 weeks. So $1,500 minus $250 is $1,250. So I don't need to worry about that. Bills to pay on Friday, February 2nd. I make sure I have enough to carry over, which I do. And these bills equal to $2,200. $2,750 minus $2,200 gives me $1,450. And like I said, I'm not going to touch this $1,450 until the following week to make sure that my lump sum of bills are not over my income. So obviously these numbers would change, but I think you guys get the gist of it. This is the routine that I follow, and as the days go on, I add in more paydays and I keep following it and following it and following it. And eventually this money adds up and adds up and adds up about once a month. So you see, if you see here, I'm saving about $1,250 a month. So, you know, $2,500, and it just keeps adding up and adding up and adding up. So after a year to 2 years, you know, you could have a down payment for a home or for a car loan or whatever you want to, whatever you're saving up for. So this is what works for me. Comment down below and let me know what works for you guys. You know, obviously these numbers will fluctuate depending on how many more bills you have. So if you see that you have way more bills than this and your income is not matching up to it, that's when you need to pick up another job, do what you need to do so that way your income is more than your bills. Because that's the only way that you're going to be able to save. Pick up another job, work more hours at your job, do overtime at your job, do whatever you need to do to save. Because the money should not be breaking even. And your bills should not be more than your income. That's the goal, is to have your income be more than your bills. That is the only way you are going to save. So if it's not, you need to change up your lifestyle. You need to go out less, downgrade on your social life. Do what you need to do to save money. The whole point is to decrease your bills and cut out non-essential expenses. Sacrifice is the number one goal when it comes to working towards your goal. You need to sacrifice. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below. Let me know your budgeting strategy, what works for you, how you're able to save money, the goals that you were able to reach from doing this process. And I will see you guys in my next video. Oh yeah, and subscribe. I'm on that road to 1,000 subscribers. So subscribe if you see this video and help me out. I will appreciate it. Love you all. Bye.